the day, like, it's a win-win scenario.
Right.
End of game, who would you want it? I mean, right now, maybe it's JT, but Devin Booker has been putting up numbers, so I'm not going to tell you who.
I don't know.
I'm just going to tell you that they're both equally great at what they do.
I don't know. It's a little bit of a toss-up, but when you were over there at the big board, Richard and I were chatting a little bit about it's not just who you want to take the very last shot. It's also about the supporting cast, who you have around you. And you had an interesting point about Jayson Tatum, Rich.
Well, I think Jayson Tatum fully needs to understand how blessed and fortunate he is. He's playing for one of the best organizations in all of sports in the Boston Celtics, one of the most historic ones on this planet. But the talent that he has had around him, he's had Kyrie Irving in his short amount of time. He's had Kyrie Irving All-NBA, Isaiah Thomas All-NBA, Al Horford multi-time All-Star. Even guys like Gordon Hayward, who, was injured, it didn't work out the way, but they had Terry Rozier. They have Marcus Smart. When you look at the amount of talent that this organization has had, there's no surprise that he has double the playoff games that a guy like Devin Booker has had. Jayson Tatum is in a spot now where he is insulated. That means you get to go do your job at a high level, and then you got defensive player of the years like Marcus Smart, like Williams, who will be coming back very soon. He has so much talent around him that the pressure, to me, is starting to build. That's why he is an MVP candidate.
What do you think of that, Perk?
I didn't understand the question because Richard went completely away from the question and the topic, but I'm going to stick on it. Who would I rather? I would go with Jayson Tatum, and it's not hard. I mean, it's not an easy decision because Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the league, hands down, in my opinion. But Jayson Tatum, being 6'10", right? I'm looking at Kevin Durant, and I see Jayson Tatum right up underneath him for his ability to get to his spots, raise up over anybody, and knock it down. And now, guess what? He's been efficient, shooting 48% from the field, 36% from the three, and he's attacking the paint. Like, you can't just teach this, right? 6'10", with the size, the length, the athleticism, and the ball handling, and the ability to get to wherever he wants to be. He cannot be guarded.
Yeah, I think I would want Jayson Tatum just because we want to see him in those moments. We've already seen the Phoenix Suns be a clutch team even when Chris Paul is out there. I think one thing that goes to Devin Booker's, credit is that he's done a lot this year with less. They've had more of a depleted bench. They've had situations coming in from the offseason where it could have permeated onto the basketball floor, and he's absolutely done his thing so far this year. So I think a lot of times when we make these comparisons, it makes us feel like, oh, he's not doing his thing relative to Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum, like you said, is a product and beneficiary of the system he's around. Devin Booker has been holding things down, and I know the last few games have been a little so-so, but there was a point a couple days ago where he was averaging 45 points, and we know it's a long season, so I feel like Devin Booker definitely deserves credit for what he's done so far this year.
But can this be a prove-it game for either one of them, Rich, considering this head-to-head matchup?
No, I think their situations are very, very different. Chris Paul is just getting back. Again, like Cam Johnson, you don't know what the Phoenix Suns are going to get for eventually Jay Crowder whenever they figure out where it's best for him to land. So I think the Phoenix Suns, there's more questions about their roster, in my opinion. So that will affect the ceiling of Booker versus Tatum. Tatum, there is one thing on their mind, and that is championship, and that's going to be. There's very few times you say championship or bust. They're in that position.
The Celtics are in that position after what we saw them sort of go through last year, where they came so very close and then just couldn't quite get over that final hurdle. But Perk, I mean, you seem like you expect them to this season.
I do. I mean, they have everything and more. When you think about it, they have two superstars, right? Like, when we start to mention Jayson Tatum and we start to mention Devin Booker and we mention Luka and Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, damn it, we need to mention Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is not a Robin. Jaylen Brown is not a second option. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown is 1A and 1B, whatever order you want to go with it. And so when I look at just that best duo in the league, along with the pieces that they have, and they're winning right now at a high level, and they don't even have Robert Williams, that's what I'm going with. Yes, they should be the favorite. I do have them picked to win.
Yeah.
What was that face for?
Cool.
No, look, we got to go to break. We're not going to
do this today. That's what you're
saying.
saying.
Not going to put Jaylen Brown in the same position of Ja Morant and Luka. Like, come on, man.
We're going to put a pin in that and potentially come back to it.
What?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.